My daddy worked the refinery for 41 years. Come home black with grease and too tired for tears. We had a Bible on the shelf and a crack in the wall, and a family that was standing, but just barely, just tall. He never missed a Sunday, though he worked every week. His hands was rough as gravel, and his voice was all meek. He'd sing the old hymns with a tuneless kind of love, and he talked about heaven like he'd been there and back from above. Dust on the Bible, oil on the floor, calloused hands reaching for something more. He gave what he had, and he never asked why. Just a working man kneeling before he died. I left for the city when I was 17. Thought my daddy's life was the saddest I'd seen. Got me a job pushing paper, and papers were fine, but I never felt useful like a man on a line. Now I'm back at his graveside in the late afternoon, underneath a live oak and a half-painted moon. I laid down his Bible on the fresh-to-turn ground, and I finally heard that preacher's old sound. Dust on the Bible, oil on the floor, calloused hands reaching for something more. He gave what he had, and he never asked why. Just a working man kneeling before he died. My daddy, a working man kneeling before he died.
I caught the 1140 heading west out of town. Left a note on the table and I never looked down. My boots was worn through at the heel and the toe, and the only thing waiting was a long road below. There was a woman named Clara who cried at the door. Said she'd been left before, but not like this, not once more. I told her the drifting was a sickness, not a sin, but she turned from the window and she never let me in. The last train out of Laredo don't stop for the broken, don't slow for the sorry, don't wait for the word spoken. It rolls through the darkness past the fields and the stone, and carries a man to wherever he'll die alone. I watch the oil derricks fade in the flat morning light. A hawk circled over like it knew I took flight. There was a boy on the platform with his father's old hat, and I wondered if someday he'd wind up like that. Now I'm sitting in Tucson in a room by the rail, counting my sins on a cot near the jail. Got a photograph folded and worn to a crease of a life I dismantled looking for peace. The last train out of Laredo don't stop for the broken, don't slow for the sorry, don't wait for the word spoken. It rolls through the darkness past the fields and the stone, and carries a man to wherever he'll die alone. Carries a man to wherever he'll die alone. I wrote her in October from a jail cell in Blythe. Said I'd be home by Christmas if they gave back my life. The words come out crooked from a man who knew wrong, so I tucked it in my jacket where it stayed all along. The guard called my name on a Tuesday in spring, handed me a paper bag with every little thing, the watch and the wallet and the belt and the ring, but the letters stayed hidden neath the jacket's worn lining. Letters in the lining of a coat that seemed cold, words that a scared man wrote but never got bold. She moved on and married, and the children are grown, and I carry what I couldn't say all the way home. I drove past her window on a road full of rain, saw the lights in the kitchen, and I couldn't explain. There was a man at the table where I used to sit, and her laughter come through the glass just a bit. I pulled to the shoulder and I sat in the dark, read the letter by the glow of a cigarette spark. Every line was a promise that a young fool had made, and every promise was a color that had long since faded. Letters in the lining of a coat that seemed cold, words that a scared man wrote but never got bold. She moved on and married, and the children are grown, and I carry what I couldn't say all the way home. I carry what I couldn't say all the way home.
The preacher at the mission had a scar on his jaw. Said he'd been where I've been, and he'd seen what I saw. He poured me a coffee from a pot turned near black, and he said, son, the Lord don't turn his children back. I'd spent 7 winters chasing whiskey and worse. Drove the wrong road so long I forgot I was cursed. Lost a brother in Tulsa to a dead and a gun, and I swore on his grave that my running was done. Redemption Road, exit 9, off the interstate. There's a man with a Bible and an unlocked gate. I don't know if heaven's real or mercy's for me, but I pulled off the highway just to see, just to see. I mopped every floor in that mission for a year. Didn't drink and didn't fight, and didn't give in to fear. Wrote a letter to the family of the man that I'd wronged. Never got a word back, but somehow I belong. There's a garden out back where the men plant and pray. I'm down on my knees in the dirt every day. I can't undo the damage or take back the time, but I'm working and I'm praying on Redemption Road, exit 9. Redemption Road, exit 9, off the interstate. There's a man with a Bible and an unlocked gate. I don't know if heaven's real or mercy's for me, but I pulled off the highway, and for once I can breathe. Lord, I pulled off the highway, and for once I can breathe. I was 22 and stupid, and I thought I knew the score. Took what wasn't mine to take from the hardware store. The judge gave me 18 months in a county cell, and my mama came to see me once, and then she fell. She left her church pew empty every Sunday for a year. Couldn't face the congregation with her boy in there. I didn't know till later, when they finally let me out, that the silence of a mama is the loudest kind of doubt. Old Boots, young sin, a mother's quiet shame. The mistakes of a boy don't have to be a man's name. I walked out those gates in the boots that I wore in, and I swore I'd make it right from where I'd been. I found her in the kitchen on a cold Tuesday morn. She didn't say a word, but her face was tired and worn. She handed me some biscuits and she poured me a cup, and I knew that was forgiveness, so I tried to stand up. I worked her yard through a winter, and I fixed the broken gate. Learned that grace ain't something you deserve, but something you take. She sang a hymn on Easter, and she held my hand in church, and I thank the Lord for the mercy buried under all the hurt. Final boots, young Sam, a mother's quiet chant. The mistakes of a boy don't have to be a man's name. I walked out those gates in the boots that I wore in, and with her hand in mine, I could finally begin. With her hand holding mine, I could finally begin. The warden at Wheeler was a man of few smiles. He'd seen everything broken and all the wrong files. But once in a blue moon, when he walked the long road, he'd stop at a cell and he'd talk real low. He stopped at my cell on a December night, said his son played guitar and had run a red light. Said the boy was no felon, just a fool in a storm, and asked would I teach him to keep from the wrong form. The warden of Wheeler County stood in the light of the hall, a man with all the power, afraid of the fall. His boy on the outside and his prisoner inside, and a father just trying to protect what he tried. The boy came on Saturdays behind the glass and wire. He had his daddy's eyes and his mama's desire. I told him what it smells like at the end of a wrong road, and watch the weight of no take a grip and then hold. Last year I got my pardon on a warm afternoon. The warden shook my hand underneath the pale moon. He said, "You may they save my boy," and I don't know how to say. I said, "Warden, some debts don't need paying today." The warden of Wheeler County stood in the light of the hall, a man with all the power, afraid of the fall. His boy on the outside and his prisoner inside, and two men who needed each other to survive. Two broken men who needed each other to survive. Hank was 81 with a crake in his wall. Came into the tavern every night just to talk. He'd order a one bourbon and he'd nurse it 4 hours, talking cattle and drought and them long gone summer showers. He worked the Rockin' J from the age of 16. Said he'd broke more horses than most men had seen. But his hand shook on the glass now, and his eyes were far away. In some other decade, in some other better day, the cowboy don't cry at the bar. He just stares at the grain. He don't talk about the winter or the losses or the pain. He tips his hat to the barmaid and he pays up and he goes back to an empty ranch house where the cold prairie blows. Hank showed me a photograph one night by the light, a young man on a horse in the full summer bright. He said, "That was me, son, before all the hard years." And he drank down his burden and he covered his tears. They found him in the morning in his chair by the stove, with the photo on his chest and his old faded coat. The horse was still running and the frame that he held, and the cowboy was finally free of everything he'd felt. The cowboy don't cry at the bar. He just stares at the grain. He don't talk about the winter or the losses or the pain. He tips his hat to the barmaid and he prays up and he goes back to the Lord at his meadow where the good river flows. Back to the Lord and his meadow where the sweet river flows. Father, I ain't been to church since '99. I've done some things I can't make right with Wayne. pulling over on this two-lane in the rain. Got something in my chest that feels like a ball and chain. I left a man in Memphis who owed me nothing at all. Took his cash and took his dignity before the fall. He had a daughter on a hospital and a wife at home, and I left him broken, and I left him alone. Highway 61, hear my confession tonight. I'm a man full of wrong, gone looking for right. The rain's coming heavy and the wipers won't keep, and I'm crying out to something from the ditch of the deep. I turned around in Clarksdale, headed back south, and got his address from his cousin with the trembling mouth. Knocked on his door with everything I owed and then more. He stood there just looking at me on the floor. He didn't say forgive me, and he didn't slam the door. Just said come on in out of the rain on the floor. His wife made coffee and the daughter was asleep, and I sat at their table and I finally got to weep. Highway 61 heard my confession that night, and a man with nothing gave a sinner back his right. The rain came down heavy, but I found me a door, and maybe that's the closest I'll get to the Lord. Maybe that small kitchen table's the closest I'll get to the Lord. Rail and Pruitt worked the line at the plant every day. Raised 3 kids on a wage that was barely okay. Her husband gone to Houston with a woman named Kay, and she never told the children what she couldn't explain. She packed the lunches and she signed all the forms. Got through 17 winters and there's 17 storms. Drove the oldest to college on a Tuesday in fall. Cried all the way home in the rain, 'cause she'd given it all. Rail and Pruitt never asked to be brave, just kept walking to the morning from the night she had made. No one wrote her any songs and no one carved her name, but she held that family up till the children could stand on the plain. The youngest came home on a Saturday night. with a boy and a ring and a heart full of light. Ray Ellen stood in the yard underneath the old elm, and for once let somebody else take the helm. She retired in June on factory pension, bought a rocking chair and released all the tension. Said the one thing she wanted in her last Sunday years was a garden full of zinnias and no cause for tears. Ray Ellen Pruitt never asked to be brave, just kept walking to the morning from the night she had made. She got her garden and her flowers and her grandchildren's hands, and that was every song she ever needed to understand. That was every song she ever needed to understand. I was 22 and stupid, and I thought I knew the score. Took what wasn't mine to take from the hardware store. The judge gave me 18 months in a county cell, and my mama came to see me once, and then she fell. She left her church pew empty every Sunday for a year. Couldn't face the congregation with her boy and mate. I didn't know till later, when they finally let me out, that the silence of a mama is the loudest kind of doubt. Old boots, young sin, a mother's quiet shame. The mistakes of a boy don't have to be a man's name. I walked out those gates in the boots that I wore in, and I swore I'd make it right from where I'd been. I found her in the kitchen on a cold Tuesday morn. She didn't say a word, but her face was tired and worn. She handed I was 22 and stupid, and I thought I knew the score. Took what wasn't mine to take from the hardware store. The judge gave me 18 months in a county cell, and my mama came to see me once, and then she fell. She left her church pew empty every Sunday for a year. Couldn't face the congregation with her boy and man. I didn't know till later, when they finally let me out, that the silence of a mama is the loudest kind of doubt. Old boots, young sin, a mother's quiet shame. The mistakes of a boy don't have to be a man's name. I walked out those gates in the boots that I wore in, and I swore I'd make it right from where I'd been. I found her in the kitchen on a cold Tuesday morn. She didn't say a word, but her face was tired and worn. She handed me some biscuits and she poured me a cup, and I knew that was forgiveness, so I tried to stand up. I worked a yard through winter and I fixed the broken gate. Learned that grace ain't something you deserve, but something you take. She sang a hymn on Easter and she held my hand in church, and I thank the Lord for the mercy buried under all the hurt. Old boots, young sin, a mother's quiet shame. The mistakes of a boy don't have to be a man's name. I walked out those gates in the boots that I wore in, and with her hand I was 22 and stupid, and I thought I knew the score. Took what wasn't mine to take from the hardware store. The judge gave me 18 months in a county cell, and my mama came to see me once, and then she fell. She left her church pew empty every Sunday for a year. Couldn't face the congregation with her boy in there. I didn't know till later, when they finally let me out, that the silence of a mama is the loudest kind of doubt. Old boots, young sin, a mother's quiet shame. The mistakes of a boy don't have to be a man's name. I walked out those gates in the boots that I wore in, and I swore I'd make it right from where I'd been. I found her in the kitchen on a cold Tuesday morn. She didn't say a word, but her face was tired and worn. She handed me some biscuits and she poured me a cup, and I knew that was forgiveness, so I tried to stand up. I worked a yard through winter and I fixed the broken gate. Learned that grace ain't something you deserve, but something you take. She sang a hymn on Easter and she held my hand in church, and I thank the Lord for the mercy buried under all the hurt. Old boots, young sin, a mother's quiet shame. The mistakes of a boy don't have to be a man's name. I walked out those gates in the boots that I wore in, and with her hand in mine, I could finally begin. With her hand holding mine, I could finally begin.